Start stream. Boom. Come on. Come on. All right, 386 is my target on SPY, so let's get after it. I'm up a little bit on the day. I've been trading a little bit, scalping a little bit. Nice little $500. So still up 500. I'm looking for a big dump though. I think that we could get a big dump. I've been really kind of like rocking back and forth in and out of some trades, scalping a little bit. So just been playing the SPX only, as you can tell here. Just taking small gains and stuff like that. So I'm up 505 on the day. Looking for a really big trade here. I'm going to use those gains. So either I go up, let's just say 300 or 250, or I go up a ton of money because I am going to try to buy a couple contracts here on the SPX downside. So lots of opportunity here. I think there's a lot of opportunity to the downside. If you look at this 15-minute chart, if I zoom out on this 15-minute chart, similar situation here where it's a bear flag. We kind of take a huge dive, we reverse, and then we get rejected at that 393. Right at that level I wanted to. I was going to enter puts at the top, but didn't end up getting them perfectly because it rejected this 393 like that. So now that I see this bear flag, I'm looking at this low of the day, and I think we can break that because when I zoom out to the 30-minute chart, same situation down there. It looks like we're pretty bearish. And then this daily chart as well. I'm really looking for at least this 388. I know we're at that 390, but down here to this 388.50, I think we could tap, and then maybe this 387, but I'm really looking for that 386 target range. So I don't know if we have enough volume to push us down that far, but I would love to buy some of these 387 puts because on the daily chart here, the SPY, if we get down to that 387, that'll push us right to the 387.0, put these in the money. So could be a really good opportunity for us. So I will be paying attention to the 15-minute chart here and the 5-minute. It's kind of slowing down. I will look for this rejection at 391. I want to see a little bit more consolidation to the upside, and then I would take the bear flag down. So this is low of the day. I'll make this yellow so it's more easily identifiable. Whatever. But this yellow line is what I'm looking for, and then this is kind of like my target sell. So if I can buy this bear flag up here while it's squeezing up a little bit, I like that. So I might take this rejection at VWAP. So it looks like it's pretty strong. Could go up a little bit higher. That 391 would be pretty nice to see an opportunity for a bear flag. I don't like that this Bollinger Band's kind of squeezing up. Looks like there's a little bit of consolidation, maybe locked in the bottom down here. We'll see. But I might scale into this just a little bit. High of the day from reversal again, 391.30 area. I'm looking right at this VWAP, so about a little bit above. I think I would look for one more green candle for that downside, but I don't like that the Bollinger Band is like that, so probably just going to wait. Definitely looking for low of the day. This yellow line is where I would get out. Remove drawing. The red is the high of the day, yellow is the low of the day, and green is my target. So I want to buy some puts here on a little bit of a spike up. Don't know if we're going to hit that much, or if we're gonna continue to grind all the way up here. It looks like this line this might be a pretty good entry point actually. I might take this. Let's see if I'll scale into 1 here at 250. Maybe I'll get stopped out. Maybe I'll end up hitting a good point here. We'll see. Seems to be 250 is stuck. Well, that's annoying. Still want to get in around that 250 range. I think we could still see some upside here, just a little bit of consolidation. That rejection on VWAP level is pretty significant. So if it has some more volume and it starts to spike down here, this is a huge bear flag, similar to this one. So if you see a big jump down, you got 1, 2, 3 candlesticks up, then a huge red candle down. I would love to see that. I don't know if we're going to get that, but I am just dabbling a little bit for now. We'll see if this is the bottom here. Could get filled. We got filled. Thank God. All right, so we're at 250. I'm only in one contract. I don't know if this is gonna happen. I don't like this setup exactly because of this Bollinger Band and the volume's pretty low. But I would like a rejection at this level. These contracts were just above 400, so even this contract alone could pay me 150. Gonna look to go for like 2 or 3 contracts with about $150 risk max, and I'll still be up 350 on the day. So now that I have some profits to play with, I will use that. I'm up 10% on the trade, but it's only one contract. I am looking for more here, but usually when you see a setup like this, you see a spike above the VWAP level. So that's why I'm only playing one until I see this Bollinger Band start to fade off again. When I saw that earlier, it looked like a pretty clear-cut path that this was going to destroy itself. Caught a little bit of this about midway down, so this looks pretty strong. I wouldn't go too heavy in puts here, to be honest. I honestly might just set my stop loss at like $20 or something. Has a good opportunity to squeeze. There's a little bit of volume in here. It's low on the contract volume over here as well. So not a ton of people are taking these put contracts, but that is always a good sign. If this volume on the contracts are low, that means that there's no action, which means the premiums are low. So when people come in and buy them up, that could be a really good entry point if this spikes down. But it's going to be a slow day. It's been choppy all day. I've been kind of just scalping in and out, as I just showed you. But there is a good opportunity for this downside. This could pay out a ton of money because a break of this low of the day mark could run us down to 388, and these 387s would be pretty close to the money. Therefore, these 250s could be worth about $600, $700. So just looking at the SPX right now, lots of decay on them, obviously, if you've traded them before. So I'm only up $35 a contract here. I do want to get more than one today. But SPX, you don't need a lot of contracts to make good money. Just slowly scale it in. This is kind of the downtrend that I'm looking at from the 15-minute chart. A little off here, but if it breaks above this VWAP, I would probably just stop out of this one and wait for a good entry to get about 5 contracts at a time. And then we'd call it, because it does look a little strong. It looks like it's trying to reverse off this bottom. Bollinger Bands, as I always tell you, I like to play the reversal on them, but I see a lot of weakness today. I'm still bearish. I'm still biased on that downside, so just being careful. It looks like there is a resistance point at that 392, so we could easily spike up. Just waiting for that VWAP. If it breaks above this, I'll stop out very small. It's obviously only one contract, but I do love this downside. I still think we break that low of the day mark from earlier, and I think it happens really fast. So this middle zone always scares me. That's why I only play small contracts when it's in the middle, because you never know which way it's going to spike up or spike down. And with the SPX, I'm not willing to lose on 10 contracts real quick, $200, because you can see some buyers right there at that level. So even though it tried to sell off there, there's some buyers. I'll zoom out just a little bit here. If it breaks that line, I will stop out of this, even though I'm only in one. But you can start to see this Bollinger Band if this starts to curl down a little bit more at this line again, I will take another contract with a small stop loss. I will get ready for that too, because the Bollinger Band is starting to expand a little bit if you can see it start to expand, it's not pointing straight at it. It shows me that there's some room to fall. And this bear flag looks pretty good to me. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart here on the right. I don't know if I like this too much. That downtrend could be tested. This thing could fall to that low of the day mark. I think we're actually set up for that now with that Bollinger Band. Look at that. Look at this pointing down a little bit. We could see a nice fall here. I would have loved to grab some if it retested this, though. Obviously only on one contract, as you guys can already tell, but it's up $52 a contract, which is a pretty good gain. I'm waiting for a little bit of a bounce here, see if I can actually get more contracts. Now I'm a little bit more confident that this is expanding towards that yellow line. Yeah, I think SPY's going to low of the day. If this can continue at least. I will stop out of this trade above this downtrend though. So, and I'm already in the money, or I'm already profitable, so even if I get stopped out, it might be like $20 a contract, and if I buy 5, it's $100. So see if we can get back up towards that 250 range, and I would probably buy more at this level. Right at this trend line, I would look for that rejection. If the Bollinger Band's still expanding towards the downside. 15 minutes still bearish. I can zoom out to the 30. You can see the 30-minute chart is also bearish down here, kind of getting walked down. A little bit of a bounce at that 390, but if we get towards that level again and test this 388 or 389.50, I think that we could really see this green line that I have drawn here at 388.50. So I think there's a lot of downside to come. I think that we're going to end up sliding just a little bit more today. My big goal is 386. I don't know if we'll get there, but I would love that. Be about a $7 loss day, which I think is very possible with the rates being hiked yet again, 0.25 basis points. Even though it was expected, the bank collapse is pretty tough on top of rate hikes. I feel like they're just kind of screwing over the economy at this point. But I do love that this Bollinger Band is expanding. As it gets closer, it's going to consolidate. It's early, or it's 11:30, so you're getting lunch hour opportunities right now, which is basically nothing. If I wanted to be smart, I could just lock in profit real quick and then enter in at the next one, which I might end up doing here. Just take the 35 free dollars if I wanted. I don't think it's going to let me out, but I do want to buy some more puts at this level. Looks like it's not trying to break down just yet. Maybe I'll just add in some more here. This is a bullish sign too. If it tried to break down and now there's a massive lower shadow. Still waiting for this trend line test to buy more potentially. I could lock up this quick $20 and then buy more, but I might as well just stay involved. It's just one contract. I still want to see this test, but I think that's why I should probably just lock in these quick profits, because it's going to get near my money. I think I'm going to lock in the quick profits real quick, and then at that test, I will take more contracts. So I'll just lock in the quick 30, because if I think it's going to get back up there anyway, I might as well just take the free money, but it's starting to spike up right now anyways. So we'll get some more contracts here in a second. 250. Just trying to be smart, waiting for this range. 391 is where I'm looking for that rejection. I don't really like this 15-minute chart. It kind of looks like it's trying to reverse, or 30-minute. So a larger time frame looks like it's kind of starting to fade towards that bullish side. Above this trend line would make that look more bullish to me. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to be down on this trade a little bit here, but I am going to add one more little spike up towards that 391. Getting in a little premature here just in case it rejects. Didn't fill me at 240 just yet. Hope it does right here though. Filled me on 3 contracts at 45. I will put my stop right here, so I'll have a $90 loss if it breaks out at 210. Looks like it might stop me out. It's starting to flip a little bullish. Probably should have taken my profit, huh? I'm gonna get stopped out about $100 on that, unless it rejects. But still at 430 on the day, 400 on the day. So if it rejects this VWAP line, that's perfect entry point. But it looks pretty strong now that this volume came in. Doesn't look the best. So it could try to spike up and start going towards that high, which is pretty brutal to see, because I kind of saw that coming before I sold that one contract, but just stopped me out. Damn. That's okay. One stop out, 370. Lost 130 on the trade. Coming back, though. Damn. That was easy. That was easy money. I could have just taken it and then just waited out, but I panicked. That's okay, though. So up 370 on the day. Stupid trade right in the middle of the contracts. Saw this volume come in. Should have got out as soon as I saw this come in when I saw that spike, but you live and you learn. So I'm still in, down 130 from the trade, still up 370 on the day. Was looking for that downside. Still think that we're going to get that downside, but now that the 30-minute flipped, I'm going to have to probably be patient on this one. See how this is bullish on the larger time frame now. A little bit, so many lower shadows that it's bouncing. I wouldn't even be surprised to see if this goes back up to 392 now with that downtrend break. Not liking that. But I still think that we see this low of the day, so just paying attention to this yellow mark. I think that these contracts are going to get even cheaper. Could probably even go up to the 38.80s as they get closer to the money. I'm treading really light today. 370. It's a Friday. We're not getting a ton of volume, so it's kind of just quick in, quick outs. I'm at 10K and trading on my own. Good shit. 130, okay. The question is this going to continue to break down? So here's the uptrend. Here's the other trend that I'm seeing that it's trying to break out of. Looks like it's trying to reject right now. 336, 300. I don't like the way that the 30-minute looks at all for the downside, but I do still love the downside, but I'm biased. So I'm not gonna chase that and just piss away some profits. I did just take a $130 loss, but still up on the day. So I just used my profits, keep the stop small. And if that went my way on 3 contracts, that could have been an easy extra $400, $500. Maybe even more. Could have been even 600 if it completely rejected. I still think that we're going to head down towards this yellow line. We're just going to get that consolidation. This is a pretty tough time to trade, being in the middle of the day. Low volume, but this one spike right here did kind of just throw everything off for me. I kind of want to dabble back into these. Even though I got stopped out at 300, I might get back into the 380s. Are you on a trade right now, man? Just joined. No, I'm not on a trade. I just got stopped out of a trade. I'm up a small 370 on the day. I was up 500. Just lost 130 bucks on a little trade here. Was looking for a rejection, but it spiked up and then it kind of got pushed down. So just waiting right now. Still looking for this yellow line. I'm looking on the put side. Looking at 3880s right now. I don't know where I'd probably get these. Look to start buying them around. This looks like a pretty good rejection point at this 391.80 mark. Looks like bulls are trying to regain it. When I zoom out, it looks like that 30-minute chart does look pretty bullish, but we still have a lot of time for it to finish off. We have 21 minutes for that, so this could flip at any point. Igor, you're welcome, buddy. Let's see if we can get a nice trade here. I would love to go above $1,000. I keep having like these $300 to $500, $600, $700 days, but I'm really looking for a good trade here. I feel like this week's been pretty choppy. I feel like if you can make good money if you're putting a bunch of size on, but I'm really only buying like 2-3 contracts at a time just because of how volatile it's been. You just saw that. I entered into 3 contracts and got stopped out 130, so it can happen fast. So the entries are everything on the SPX. I could go SPY on Monday expirations and look for that 390 or 389 expiration or strike price, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I feel like we're starting to spike up quite a bit here. And we're above that VWAP, so I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like the downside just yet. It's probably not a good entry point. I got my hand, it's like putting my hand on the stove. I got burned a little bit, down 130 on that last trade, but still like to see the downside at some point here. Just the 30-minute chart looks bullish. You can see this start to push up. Above 392, this thing could go to the high of the day, which is not the side that I'm thinking, but just gonna put aside my bias here. Does anybody think it's going to high of the day? The hourly chart kind of looks pretty good too. It's starting to form a little bit of a inverse cup and handle though. Might take a while for us to set that up. 4-hour chart, pretty indecisive. 15-minute chart, trying to flip bullish here. How much time do we have? We have 4 minutes for the 15 to close, and it looks like it's starting to push up. So I think the downside as of right now is probably not a good idea. The only time I would look for a downside is at the top of this Bollinger Band or at this 393 high. So it looks like it's kind of chopping up. I don't see a lot of sellers coming in just yet, and I don't want to chase the downside and get stopped out. Meta kind of having a nice little dive, 203. NVIDIA, I see a 260 support line, just so everybody knows, right here at this level. This 261-ish could be a good opportunity for the downside as well, and NVIDIA is very weak. Am I going short at the blue line? I don't know. I think that's going to be maybe a dabble in there, depending on the volume. But this uptrend that it's forming is pretty slow, and it's 1140. So I don't really think that there's going to be too much opportunity as of right now. I really want to have a $1,000 day today, though. 500 looked a lot better than 370. But green is green. Green is green. NJ Exchange. What's up, buddy? Let's do this. Let's try to catch something on the downside here. 15-minute does look bullish, so I don't know if I like that. This was the trade of the day. This was the easy trade of the day. If you caught that 393 rejection, I almost caught it, but I missed it by a second. But this was the absolute trade of the day. The bear flag situation, the Bollinger Band was expanding downward, and then it pushed down. Now we're kind of in chop hours. I might take a... Let's do some analysis on the daily chart real quick. Daily chart over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to clear all these crazy lines. It looks like, to me, this could be a choppy day. It is Friday. Fridays are tough to trade, so I understand that completely. So here's the uptrend that it broke down a couple days ago. Resistance level is at that 393 that we were looking at from the bottom of this body candle right here. So this is why I rejected that 393. There's a resistance level there. Then, towards the upside, there is another resistance level at this 392. So maybe I'll start to look for... Deck, I'm trying, man. I'm only up 370 bucks. I need to make $1,000 just like you, man. I was up 500, just got a quick little stop out of $130, but I'm looking for this 392.50 potential reversal. I still see some downside, and I feel like this consolidation towards the upside is a good opportunity to get these contracts a lot cheaper. So around this 392 or maybe this 391.75, I feel like we could get a good opportunity for a big down candle just like this. You could see them chop up like this earlier, and then a big bear flag. Similar situations starting to happen here, but I need to see more volume come in and break this uptrend. So I think my big target here, I'll change these colors, would be I'll make this red so you know that I'm going to buy some puts at that level. I'll probably start to scale in around that 392. And then I'm going to make this low of the day mark again. It's 389.37 because I feel like this could be tested. I'm bearish, I'm biased, so if you're seeing something that I don't, let me know, but I really am focused on the downside here because I think it could make a lot more money for us. But I do see that all these larger time frames, like the 30-minute and the 15-minute, are switching bullish on us. But all it takes is one red candle, and this could look bearish again. So this is starting to push up towards that 392. Maybe we end up seeing that 393 again today, but I don't know. There she goes. Yeah, she's just slowly climbing. If you caught this bottom, you are chilling right now. It looks like this 30-minute chart is going. I should have really noticed on my trade here. I should have just cashed out my 50 bucks that I was up on that one contract and been up 560 on the day. As soon as I saw this volume spike, volume is literally everything. If you don't pay attention to volume, you need to, and the market is spiking, holy shit. This volume right here, as soon as I saw the volume spike this back up, I knew this was done for. But this is going to 393 now. I'm probably going to have to switch to the call side contracts, honestly. This is a nice squeeze. 30-minute looking really bullish. It's going to retest that 393 high. 15-minute chart just switched completely bullish. Bollinger Bands are expanding to the upside. So I'm bearish, but as of right now, I just got the confirmation that we are going to that 393. So let's do these 3980 contracts. They're 170. Maybe 3970s. Those are a little bit too cheap. Oh, shit, we're just squeezing. I missed out. But this is why stop losses are your friend. You know, I had those contracts, and I was down. I don't even know how much I lost on that trade. Probably about 40 bucks a contract, I think. Yeah, 40 bucks a contract. We just went to high. Is there news? What just happened? The hell just happened? I don't see anything. Nothing. I literally see nothing. This is crazy. That is a massive spike up. I'm going to stay away from puts completely now. Looks like we just completely flipped, so all that analysis on the downside looks pretty brutal. Above this 393, I would say 394, and then there's a literally 395 right at that top, so we might have to switch our biasness real quick. Nice little hammer candle on the daily chart. That is something. But these are the two levels that I just drew. I feel like this 393 is another one that it just broke above. Holy shit, that's crazy. These contracts just went from 150 to 500. Options, man. So crazy. Okay, so let's look at the SPX real quick. It's currently at 3950. Yesterday's high was around that 3970. So these would be pretty good contracts to buy if we continue to fill that gap. Maybe these 3980s go a little bit higher, make them a little bit cheaper. I'd probably wait for a little bit of a pullback to around 200-ish. I'm going to wait for a red candle. Maybe we can catch this bounce at 392.50 for some higher trading here. So let's go for the call side here. Let's just go with the momentum. Love to see a little bit of a pullback, 20 more cents, get these contracts around 190. Here we go. A little more of a pullback here. See if we can get filled pretty cheap. See if we can get it in 190. Come on. Come on. Ah, missed me by like 0.5 cents. That is so ass. I hate when that happens. Trying to get in at 2 here. Obviously, a lot of buyers just missed out on those 190 fills. Damn it, that's crazy. I have a fill at 200 here still. Would love to see a little bit more of a pullback so we can get involved. These contracts did just run and spike 100%. So let the volatility, let the theta get to it, let the contracts shred a little bit. They're a little bit overinflated right now. But I would love to get involved on this because this little jump up on a lot of volume, a little bit of consolidation, I'm sure we'll go back up to this 394 and start to squeeze here. So let's hopefully we can get filled on these 200 contracts. I would buy more than one. It just keeps bouncing at that 2. All right, here we go. We'll get filled on 1 hopefully here. Okay, still not. Should get filled now. Here we go. All right, I'm in 1 at 200, so I'm still looking for that 394 test now that we just broke out that far. These contracts are a little inflated, so I'm still looking for a couple more contracts, but I want to be patient on buying the call since it's all the way up here. I think that we'll get a little bit of a pullback. Premiums you got to be careful of. My stop loss would be below this 392, which would probably stop me at about $50 a contract or more. So these are at 190. That was a pretty crazy run, so I'm just waiting for a little bit. That spike was about 393.19, so about a 60-cent pullback here. Could get these contracts a little bit cheaper. See if they'll fill me at 180 here for an extra one. If I get back some gains, I'm going to have to walk away. But I still think that there's some upside to this, especially after that massive buyer that came in out of nowhere. Just trying to go with momentum, getting a little bit of a dip buy. We'll love one contract at 180 here. Average myself out 190. Could go up 200 bucks. Lots of random action for today. All right, I'm in at 180. I'm in 2 contracts. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous on this, honestly. The Bollinger Bands are expanding to the downside over here, too. I feel like we have a lot of bullish momentum, though. 30-minute just kind of spiked out. I feel like we'll end up going towards that 394. Did reject that 393 again, so just being patient. Down 15, down $10 a contract. Gonna slowly scale in here. Might grab one last one for that bounce at 392. But just scared that it's gonna completely slide off. I don't think it's going to. I think we have enough volume and momentum here to continue back above that high, but let's just see. Try to make some back of that 130 loss. Puts are in control. I don't think so. I think the calls are in control here, but I am a little bit scared of this slide off because I am still bearish, but when I look at the larger time frames, I think that my bias is just telling me that it's going to flip back red. But if we get back above 393, that's a good sign. I don't know if it's trying to get to that point or not, but I feel like this would be my stop at about 392. Would push me down a little bit. I'd probably only be up like 200 on the day, but that's okay. Let's see if we can get one more contract here. I feel like these contracts they're coming down a little bit, but I still see that the premiums are still kind of inflated. I feel like a lot of people are coming into this. So it's still chopping, but I'm up. So it makes me think that some people are coming into these contracts. You can see more volume into them. They're at 2. I think that we might be spiking up, guys. We had the 394 potential, which I'll draw that again since that's the first one. I think that this 392 is my stop out zone. I'm in it a little bit cheaper. I only have 2 just because that was random as hell. There's no news, big volume spikes. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here, but I am taking the dip buy potential to go back, test that 393.20. That point is to be up about 110 a piece. But on the downside, I'm probably only going to lose about $100. So I'll stop myself out about this 140 level. I should probably set this right now just in case. I do think sellers are going to show up, but this momentum is just out of nowhere. Makes me think that there's some upside potential. Look at all this volume coming in too. But it's not really moving, so lots of action happening over here. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't see any news anywhere. If anybody sees any news, please tell me. I don't see anything. Still nothing. I am going to buy one more, I think. This is random. This is like such a random. Go one more on this bull flag. If I can at 175. Doesn't look like it wants me in. Still think there's some opportunity to the upside here. I'm biased to the put side. I don't know why I'm trying to buy calls, but I'm just going with the momentum here. Don't yell at me. I think that we're going back up to that 394. I think that we're going to expand. I'm only in 2 contracts, so I don't have a ton of risk. I don't think I'm going to make a ton of money on this either, but I am going to move my stop loss up to like 160, so I don't really have that much of a... That's $60 at risk here. Only risking $400, $60 at risk. I'm up a little bit on the trade. If we can go back up towards that top, I'm up 55, 50. I still think that there's a lot of opportunity back up to this 393 test. Then maybe a run, honestly. I'll mitigate my loss down here, 175. 180. There we go. I only have like $25 at risk, but it looks like we're squeezing up. Could potentially make my money back. Let's cancel these and play the game. Let's play the game here, guys. Let's make my money back that I just lost. There we go. There's the squeeze, 260. Let's see if we can get out one at 265. 275 we just got out, and let's see if we can get out this one at 290. Boom. All right, so we just made my money back. So let's get back on the right side here. More money than last time. Great trade. Up 555. That's a great number to be up. Still want to get up over 1,000 today. I think that we're going to that 394. We got a lot of bullish momentum out of nowhere. But if there's anything that you took away from that, one, make sure if you're ever in this downside, this is education galore real quick. So this is what I was watching before, right? And I probably should have got out, but I was just too biased. So don't be biased on your trading. First off, let me clean this up for you so it's really clear. But clear drawing set, real quick, blank chart, right? You see massive dumps all day. right? You see this massive dump at open, see a spike up to the Bollinger Band, another spike down, Bollinger Band, spike down, bear flag, another spike down, and we're at the bottom, and it started to bear flag again, and it rejected this VWAP level. What I was playing was this downside rejection, right? And I was playing this bounce down, so I took a put here, and then I added some more puts at this level. But as soon as you see a candlestick that breaks down and then there's a massive lower shadow like this, then there's a lot of volume below it. That means there's a lot of buyers coming in. So a lot of volume is starting to take it up. So if there's anything you can learn from any situation, if you're in a trade and it goes against you with a ton of volume, it starts picking up, you got to get out. So I set my stop loss, a low, but I could have taken my profits right here up $50 a contract, ended up buying more on this retest and then getting stopped out of everything small, right? I only lost $130. But when you see this volume come in, the volume is everything in trading. You can see next to nothing on these charts. You can see next to nothing. Like when I was on the exchange, you could see all the buyers, all the sellers, all the light orders, everything that was there. When you can just look at level 2 and time and sales, it does tell you a lot, but it doesn't tell you anything at real time. So this right here, volume tells you everything. That's when you can tell when a move is about to happen. So when this volume spike comes in compared to any other spike, if it's going against you, get out of your trade. You can either set your stop loss. You see how I trade by now that I put my stop losses in, and as it goes my way, I move them up. So I don't have very much risk in any trade. But when you see this should have been my telltale sign to just literally sell the market or stop out right away rather than add more contracts. But the second lesson to this is when you see massive spikes in volume like this one, wait for a little bit of a pullback and then start to scale in. Don't chase the top because there's a ton of volume coming in. Wait for a wick like this. This even happens on FOMC meetings. You'll see large moves, massive wicks down, and then they fill it back, which is exactly what I was waiting for this to do. So when it was sideways, I put my stop loss here, so I had my stop small just in case it went against me. It doesn't happen every time, but that is the power of the stop loss. So I had a $40 risk, $60 risk max, and then ended up making $200 on the trade on just 2 contracts. So made about 55% on the trade. Now we're up 555. I was up 505 before I lost that 130, and then I just made almost $200 back. So still looking for that $1,000 day. Gonna tread lightly because it's the middle of the day, and this has been a crazy Friday. I usually hate to trade on Fridays, but that was a good trade. Hopefully somebody caught in on that, and sorry if you got stopped out on this one. But small losses, big gains, as you can tell, they add up. I think that we're probably going to this 394 though. 394. Boom. I think it's going to slowly chop its way up. I don't think that there's any downside to come now. I think that this is going to be that rip up. We saw it start to happen on the 30-minute chart. This is why larger time frames are very important to pay attention to. Even though they had a nice little bearish formation on the 5-minute, 1-minute, and 15-minute, that 30-minute started to flip, and as soon as it broke out, my theory here is it's probably going to pull back to this 392.50 again, which is right here, over a certain amount of time, maybe even 392.60, and then it's going to rip to that 394. And then high of the day pre-market is 395. So I've completely flipped where I think that the market's going here. We had 2 massive sell-off days, so I'm assuming that we're going to get some sort of green before we tap that 386. But I think 386 comes next week, no problem. But these are the two levels that I'm watching now, are that pre-market high and that 394. Got 33% on the contracts on that spike. Let's go, baby. That is a massive trade. Just remember that on a yearly basis, if you were to give your money to a private manager or a financial advisor, they're going to plug you into an algorithm, a robot, not do anything, collect fees, and they'll make you whatever the market makes you. And usually they underperform. So you could probably make about 8 to 10% a year. So the fact that you just took 33% of your money in 5 minutes is a massive win. And I feel like people deter their wins based off of how much other people are making on social media. Just remember that on average, 33% would take the average financial advisor 3 years to make you on your money. So congrats, buddy. That's a huge win. This is still squeezing up. Could have probably just held those, but I got scared. Just wanted to secure my gains. But this is squeezing up, guys. Squeezing up. Where did I sell them? I don't really want to know, but Oh, we sold one 290, and they're at 440. That's okay. Made some money. I'm up 500. Just got a wild video sent to me. 394. Dude, what the hell? 394 is what I'm looking for, potentially for a reversal for a little bit, but I would just look for any sort of consolidation for that 395 test. The reason for that is the pre-market high. So this is the pre-market high. I'll make this red so you can signify that if you get into calls, that could be your entry point or that could be your exit point. So I would look for, if you're in calls for this squeeze, I would probably start to scale out around that 395. Potentially, I might take puts at that level, but just going to be patient. I'm up, having a decent day. Been back and forth a couple times here. Should be up to $1,000 if I stop myself out, but that's okay. We're good. We are golden. Golden. Tesla's pushing down. Nvidia's kind of just idling. I still think Nvidia has a lot of room down on the charts. I think Meta has a lot of room down on the charts as well. This is actually in one of my swing trade accounts for next week expiration. Yeah, this 30 minutes way too bullish for me to think that puts are even in play for the next at least 30, 40 minutes. I might step away for a little bit. I've been trading since the open. Have a nice little day here. So we're averaging about, the market's been open for 2.5 hours. So let's see. Calculator, 555 divided by 2.5. Okay. I don't think that's right, but it says that we're making $222 an hour right now, which is $222 an hour. Job. Let's Google it. Let's see what comes up. Anything make that much? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing somebody, a locum physician can make $222 an hour. What is a locum physician? Locum physician. What is that? I'm scared to look at Google. Physicians of all, what does that mean? Travel doctor. Ah, loves to travel. Okay, I see it now. Physicians of all careers work locum tenens assignments. Nice. All right, so we made as much as a traveling doctor for sitting in front of a screen for 2 hours. That's cool. That's cool. Different facilities. That's nice. Oprah would piss on those wages. Yeah. We're trying to get on Oprah's level. You know what? Fuck it. We're throwing $20,000 on this call contract right now. Just because of that, we're going all in. 235. It's a nice little rejection candle here. Let's see what Oprah can do. See what Oprah can do when I slam these contracts. Wait, hold on. Let me draw this uptrend. I think pre-market is going to get, pre-market high will get hit here in a second. Let's get this test. Let's get this 392.50 test. And let's see what Oprah says about this contract that I'm about to slam and make $300 a contract here. I don't even think that Oprah makes $1,000 in 5 minutes here. So let's see what happens. If I give back my gains, it's because of Oprah. 220 on one contract. Let's try to slam another one here. Come on, let's try to catch this bull flag up to this 395. You think we can do it? Damn it. I tried to get more than one. I'm looking for this this bounce at high of the day. That's what I was looking at. This the point where it struggled earlier. That's why I just bought that. Do you trade the 5-minute time frame? Yeah. But I confirm over here on the 15, and then I look at the SPX somewhat. These are kind of sell These are sell signals right now to me. I'm just kind of going in just because I'm kind of bored. I want to feel something crazy. I'm in right now, 220. If it starts to fall back on me, I'll probably set my stop loss really small, 240. Still go up 500 on the day. Be at 505, but in 2 contracts here, if we can spike up towards that high of the day, these will end up making me an extra $200 a contract. So that'd be 400 bucks in 5 minutes, and I don't think Oprah makes $400 every 5 minutes. Let's see. Does she? Does Oprah? How much does Oprah make a minute? $2,400 a minute. All right. All right. All right, well, she wins. I'm going to move my stop loss up. I'm not going to beat Oprah today because there's no movement. But one of these days, I will beat Oprah. I'm going to put my stop loss right at around break even here. I'll lose $15. Oprah wins. I was trying to prove a point, but you know what? She's got it. She's got it. We're up $65. We're up over $600 on the day on one trade here. Keeping it small, keeping entry small. There's not a lot of movements going on, so let's push our stop loss back up to 220. Let's not get a little carried away on this day, because this could break down on us at any point. See if we'll get out at 250 here, 245. I doubt it lets me out, but it'll stop me out this 220 probably. Let's just put our stop losses break even. Stupid. Oh, no. I did not mean to do that. It told me to sell the limit. Dicks. Whatever. Still up 550. Did not mean to sell that, but we got out. Oprah, holy shit. $2,400 a minute. That's crazy. Oprah is so rich. She's kind of bad, too. She's kind of cute. How old is she? How old is Oprah? 69 years old. I'm all in. I am all in. About to play puts at high of the day, previous day close. Oh, shit. This did break down. Good thing I did accidentally sell that for a $5 loss. Personally, I don't like scalps. That's okay. No, she's not. Yeah, she's not that hot. But okay, so this is a nice little breakdown. We're on this uptrend now. We could see a nice little bounce, but I'm not sure I like it. Honestly, I could probably play some contracts at this level. I feel like this is actually a good point to enter. If you were going to enter in anything, it should have been in this uptrend, not this high of the day mark. But this is starting to turn around a little bit. This is a shooting star candle. So shooting star candles are usually a sell signal. 15-minute chart. Maybe we could squeak in one more trade in here. Still at 550. Would love to take this above 1,000. I could probably buy 5 contracts at 2 to see if it can run back up to that 300 level. Let's see what we got here. 15-minute chart looks pretty bullish still. Nice little bounce level there. 30-minute could be the same. Did anyone see that Kansas State game last night? That was the best basketball game I've ever seen in my entire life. That was the most ridiculous, action-packed basketball game, back and forth for about 20 straight minutes in the second half. Nothing stopped, and that little point guard is unbelievable. I don't know if anybody watches basketball, but talk about entertainment. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. This is starting to fade off a little bit here, so let me see 185s. I don't really like that. It tried to break, got the upper shadow. I don't know that I like that. Could go in here, maybe 2 contracts, stop myself out, $30 each. Still be up 500. With a potential $200 gain here would be $100 a contract. Would be way more than that. It'd be over $200 a contract here if we bounce off this uptrend. So there is an opportunity here to spike. But let me look at the daily just to confirm. I don't know. I don't know that I like that. still feel like I'm still bearish. I still feel like we could end at that 386 level, but I don't want to jinx anybody. There's a lot of downside here. Right at this bottom. It bounced here once. Will it bounce again? The thing to me is this is a bearish formation. Usually these big red candles, you'll see a slight green candle and then another fat red candle. But on the 15-minute chart, this could be a just some consolidation for that 395 or 394 break. I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like risking this right now. I don't feel like getting in, getting stopped out really fast doesn't make much sense to me. Am I in the green today? Just got on here, busy today. Yes, Levi, I'm up $550. Trying to push that to $1,000 day. Yesterday ended up pretty nicely too. I don't know if I was on the stream telling or not, but ended up going up. I think it was 560 again yesterday. So I'm right around my average. All week have been about flat to average, a couple hundred, 200 to 500 a day. Trying to bump those numbers up to 1,000 a piece, but the problem with me this week is I've just been so biased to the downside that I really haven't been playing the setups. I've been only waiting for those downside setups. And sometimes I'm buying into puts when I shouldn't be, so I get stopped out really fast. So I just like have those back and forth days. But been green all week, so I can't really be too upset about that. I've been flat, I think, Monday, and then I've had a couple hundred to $500 to $600 days ever since. So looking pretty good. I think there was an $800 day in there too, but I'll confirm and check. If you guys don't use TradeZella, I would really look into that. A guy named Umar created that, and he's a great trader, but he also has been spending a lot of time on the platform. I think it's like $300 for the whole year, but you can track all your trades. You can replay all your trades. It gives you can export your trades from here off of Thinkorswim or whatever platform, download it to your computer, transfer it over to TradeZella just by dragging and dropping the CSV file or the Excel file, whatever you export it out as, and then it shows you every single day how much you're up, how much you're down. You can replay your trades. You could journal in there. It's really a great platform for traders, but I have no affiliation with him. I'm just using it, and I think it's great. Man, do we take the call side? Call side looks beautiful right now. Like, damn, this looks beautiful. I feel like I should get involved. At least I might just take one just to feel like I'm a part of a community here. Let's just go for one. I feel like this is gonna go break out above that 393 like right now. What camera are you using? I'm using my laptop right now. So it's the Dell something. But I also have a Sony A7C with a bunch of attachments for content. My podcast, my content. I also use my phone camera a lot with a lot of lighting. Damn, this is going above 393, guys. I should have just hammered that shit. I should have just bought 10 contracts. Nice ass camera, the Sony A7C. Yeah, it's fire. All right, we're in one. I'm going to keep my stop loss very small, though, 160. If it breaks down, I'm out. Looks like it might break down. Just got rejected twice. Maybe this is the top. Maybe this was the top, that 394. Maybe it doesn't want that pre-market high. I still think that this is pretty bullish, but the 15 minutes starting to turn a little bit here. I could remove this and see exactly what it looks like. It's right at that 392 level. I'm gonna get stopped out $30. I should probably just stop playing with these small contracts. Looks pretty weak now, but for a second it'll look good. That's why the market can fake you out real quick. If it can bounce, it still looks good, but it looks like this 392 might be that bounce level. I don't know. It's a large upper shadow, same one here. I'm only on one contract. I'm probably gonna get stopped out. I'll just stop myself out $25. I'll be up 525 on the day, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of in limbo right now. It could go either way, and I don't want to really second guess myself. I'm still biased to the downside. I'm starting to play the upside right now because I'm in my mind where I'm thinking maybe I'm just too biased and it could go up, but it's going down. But I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. So I think that I'm just going to take my 525 and walk for the morning, see if I can come back and make another stack or 500 or so in the afternoon. And there she goes. She stopped me. She stopped me. Watch for that bounce at 392, though, if anybody's on the call side. I feel like there could be a good one. You have a percentage you always set your stops at? Nope, I don't. It's really just keep it small. If I'm in on a trade there, the SPX is so damn good that I could buy one contract or 10 contracts at 200 there and have my stop at 1.65, or I bought them at 190, so I would have a $250 loss on 10 contracts. But if it spiked and started going that way, they could have went up $100 a piece. So I always look for like a 3 to 4 R entry point, and I feel like a lot of people don't use R multiples when they're trading, but an R multiple is basically your risk to reward ratio. So if I buy in, let's say, $1,000 trade and my max loss is $100, on the other side, I want to make sure that on my entry point, a bounce will make me about $400 to $500, which makes a 4 to 1 or 5 to 1 R multiple for me. So that's really kind of what I look for. Trading isn't really about as many winners as you can possibly get. It's really about your risk to reward, because if I'm only risking $100 on a trade, I could lose 4 or 5 of those and still be profitable off one more trade. So the odds are in your favor. Head nods and understanding. Got it. Okay. This looks weak. I don't know if this is going to completely collapse and head back down to this low of the day mark. This is the low of the day, 389.37. Might be a little bit higher than that, but yellow is the low of the day mark here. Looks pretty weak over here on the whole market, kind of forming a real nice top, but I don't know. I don't see much. I don't really want to chase much. I don't want to trade much. I feel like the put side probably would have paid there, but this bounce at this trend line could be pretty good for a reversal. So I don't like where it's at. I don't like what it's doing. I'm a bias to the downside. If I bought puts here and it bounced, I'd be pissed. So I'm really not looking for anything just now. But I am gonna go eat something because I'm starving. And what else do I got to do today? Nothing. Nothing is on the calendar. Maybe I'll go to the gym. Come back around 2 o'clock, and then we'll see if we can turn this 525 into $1,000 today. I don't know if the trend's gonna crack. I think that when you see volume, look at this. You see this volume spike? It's exactly what happened over here. Similar situation. So something big's gonna happen. I can't tell you exactly which way because we don't have that access. But this right here, a volume spike. The volume spiked at this trend line touch. So once it started to increase in volume, now you're starting to see a flip. Shows you that buyers are here. This is where all the buyers were resting their orders. They sat them up. Now, if you start to look at the time and sales data, this is a little bit of an upper shadow. So sellers could still be up here. But when you see this volume spike, similar to what happened here, you could start to see that squeeze towards that 393. So at that point, that's when I would start to take that risk to reward ratio. So I would enter into there and be like, okay, if I enter in this trade right now at 1.5, its low was 1.3. So I could lose about $20 a contract here. But on the upside, if it breaks out, I could probably be making about $100 a contract. So that's a 5R. So that 5R, I'd be like, oh shit, maybe that is a good opportunity for that risk to reward ratio. So even if it does stop me out, I wasn't wrong. It's just more of like my risk to reward. I don't really care if it goes against me. I am always entering trades where I could make a ton more money than I could lose. So that's my philosophy. That's how I trade, and it's been successful. Obviously, I've been on here for a week straight, and you've seen me make, I don't know, $2,000 this week, $3,000 this week. A really slow week for me, but we're still green. Can't be upset about that. And that's all because of risk reward. It's been really choppy this week, though. And I've missed out on some of the perfect entries this day right here. I missed out on so much money. Should have made like 30K, but ended up only walking away a little bit green. So slow week for me. I hope everybody else caught this though, because this was a huge layup at that 402. It just completely slid off the whole day, and this broke down. So volume was there. It's retesting that trend. It could bounce. You can see a couple more bounces at that level. Seems to be like a lot of buyers at this level. So unless it loses that 391.70, I still think that this flips. And if you want me to be a part of it just for fun, I will do that with you. Actually, no, I'm done doing that. Actually, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. I'll just do one. Just so I can talk through the R multiple situation here. So 1.45, if it'll fill me. Maybe I'll do a 1.50. So 150 down here, and the low will be about this 130. So I could set a stop loss right here down 20 bucks or 25. But on the upside here, if it breaks out towards this, the Bollinger Bands are still expanding, lots of upside, bouncing off of this a couple times, volume coming in, buyers still here. Unless it breaks down below, this R multiple will be at $25, right? So let's say I bought 10 contracts. I could buy another one here. I don't really want it. This is just for educational purposes. There's no volume and it's middle of the day. So I'm just going to hold on to one, but 1.50 could push me down $25. But on the other side here, I could be making over $100 a contract, maybe 150. So $25 to potentially making 100 is that 4R. It kind of fits those parameters. And even as it goes my way, sometimes I'll just move this stop loss up. So now it's only $20 risk. Or if it starts going green, I'll move it up even more. Or if it even goes red, like I'll still move it up. So I don't know. I think that makes sense. That's kind of my trading strategy. It's not really a traditional trading strategy, but there's so much little risk in how I trade. How did that first day feel when you quit your job to day trade? Scary. Terrible. And I actually lost $1,000 my first day I quit. So that sucked. But here we are. I thought I made a huge mistake. I really did. But then I started talking about stocks online, and then I created a channel, and then I created a high-ticket product, and then I created a marketing agency, and then everything just started working out from there. So I do day trade, but that's not my only source of income. I own 2 other companies, and there's a lot going on there. I teach classes. I get paid through social media, all that type of stuff for creating content. So there's a lot going on. So things worked out. If you ever quit your job to do anything full-time, you're never going to have all the right answers right as soon as you quit. And it's going to be scary as shit, but if you grind your ass off and you're really passionate about it and you know how to make it work, the sky's the limit. I'm going to move my stop loss up now. So now as you can see this, very small, very choppy. Now if it hits one red candle, I will get stopped out. But on that stop out, I will move my stop loss up from now. So now I have $10 risk. $10 risk, right? So now I have a $5 risk. And I have no risk on this trade. So I'm going to get stopped out here because it got rejected because there's no volume and it's middle of the day and it's stupid to be trading, which is why I'm only trading one. But $5 stop out here, this could completely plunge. But if it plunges, I don't care because I only have $5 at risk now off $150, right? So if it goes my way, that's huge. But if it doesn't, I only lost $5, maybe $10 if it goes through my stop and stops me a little lower. But there's no risk. So my day trading strategy is if I risk $1,000, if I risk $200, if I risk $150, or if I risk $20,000, my risk is so small it does not matter. It really does not matter to me. And that's what I feel like people need to understand when they are trading is it doesn't matter how much you risk. It matters how much you set your stop loss at. And it actually came through a little bit, so I ended up losing $10. But we are up 5.15 on the day. I just lost like $40 being an idiot. But let's chalk it up. If you guys need anything, please hit me up. I'm very responsive. You can follow me on Next Era Trading, and it's Friday, so I do have to do a little promotion, little bit. I am releasing my first course ever on Sunday, and I'm very pumped up about it. This isn't a sales pitch, but just listen. That I spent so much time on this, and I'm very proud of it. So even if you don't buy it, it doesn't matter to me because it's just the value that it's out there. Spent about 5-6 months creating this thing. I invested about $10,000 to $20,000 other courses just to make sure that mine wasn't just like anybody else's. And all the other courses out there suck. They suck so bad because they're just literally copy and pasting Google definitions. And my course, I from scratch created a 160-page PowerPoint slide. And I am in the bottom left-hand screen, just like this screen right here that you're seeing on the live stream, coaching you through every step, whether it's stock trading. What are stocks? The history of the stock. I worked on the New York Stock Exchange, so there's a lot of history that I know that a lot of people don't. So I talk through that. Then it's entry and exit points. Then it's technical analysis, how to read candlesticks. Then it's option strategies. And I have live trades of me executing every single option strategy there is, whether it's covered calls, cash secured puts, naked options, naked puts, naked calls, just regular calls and puts just like this, or some spreads, iron condors, all that type of stuff. Step by step in under 5 hours, 10 chapters. And every single day I upload live trades that I'm executing off of the different chart patterns. But it's not just trading as well, because there's also dividend investing. I created a dividend calculator, a compound investing calculator, so you can plug money or plug in numbers into it so you can see how much you can make in the long run by investing in a retirement account. If you're a business owner, how to start a business, the tax advantages of a business, and opening up a SEP account rather than a traditional IRA, because you can make 20% of your gains contributions or up to $60,000 a year in a SEP account versus a traditional IRA just for owning your own business. So $60,000 a year invested or $6,500 a year for long-term investing, you choose which one you think is better. So there's a lot of opportunity in there. There's so much value in such little time. And at the end of it all, once the course is completed, I throw in a one-on-one call if you have any questions with me. And then there's also free access to a server that I have created. So check it out. It comes out on Sunday. You could see it. If you don't buy it, that's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. But the fact that you just listen or even take a look at it, I love it. Yeah, that's all. Sunday, created that. Spent about 1.5 years plotting it. Took me about 5 months to create. Lots of time, lots of value. And check it out on Sunday. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop out. I'm going to go get some food, because the market is doing absolutely nothing. It's just chopping. I would recommend to stay away, because this could be a huge crackdown or a huge spike up, and there's no point in just getting chopped out if you're playing something like the SPX. If you do play anything, buy some time, buy a trade that has not a same-day expiration, maybe a Monday expiration, next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, wherever you think it's going to go. But in times like this, I don't buy them. You should probably, I don't know. I would stay away, but you can buy some time if you think it's going to go a certain direction. So don't get chopped out. But set your stop losses. Risk management is everything. If you need anything, let me know. What time will you be back? I don't know. I don't know if I will be back. It's Friday. It's beautiful out here in a freezing cold gray New York City right now. I cannot wait to get back to my place in Florida, because this place blows. But I don't know. Maybe I will come back. We'll see what opportunities present themselves. You really care about how much you make? Money? Yeah. I think it could be pushing its way back up towards the top. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Let me know if you need anything. Love you so much.